relax the night duty norms for IndiGo as well. One time, a conditional exemption has been given to stabilize the disrupted operations. My colleague Anvit had mentioned this a little while ago. 6 night landings are now allowed and night hours relaxed. The exemption is valid until February 10. Anvit is joining us for more on this. Yes, Anvit.
Shivani, this is the latest order that we have accessed, and it goes on to detail that not only night duty hours have been relaxed, but also initially that 6 landings in the night duty were allowed. So night landings have now been brought back to 6. Initially in the new norms it was 2. And this is a temporary exemption that has been granted only to IndiGo. And if I could read from the order verbatim, it says that in the view of above and detailed deliberations with the Ministry of Civil Aviation, it has been considered necessary as one-time measure to stabilize the national aviation network and restore normalcy passenger service. It says that DGCA in public interest hereby grants a temporary one-time exemption to IndiGo to operate on its flight A320 fleet operations from the following provisions of the revised FDTL civil aviation requirements. Night duty from 000 hours to 5 a.m. in the morning, and for operations encroaching night duty. So 6 night landings will now be allowed. Also, it says that the exemption is granted solely to facilitate operational stabilization and shall not be construed as dilution of safety requirements.
Okay.
It goes on to say that the exemption shall remain in force till 10th of February and subject to mandatory review every 15 days based on the operational data and compliance report submitted by the airline. So this exemption has clearly come into the picture, and the latest exemption that has been granted only to IndiGo, and Ministry had made it clear it is the only purpose is to stabilize the network of aviation that has gone haywire in the country in the last 3 days.
Yeah, but it will be seen as pretty poor when it comes like this at this stage.
Sorry, Shivani, the message that's going out is that don't worry, if you can't follow a rule, we're going to remove the rule.
No.
And how on earth did the minister say that this is not going to affect the safety? For 2 months it's going to affect the safety. Otherwise, why did you bring the rule in the first place?
I think we can also look at it as firefighting that is going on right now. It doesn't look good, but something needed to be done to stabilize the operations, Anand.
Yeah, because somebody has to resign, because the firefighting is because you lit the fire.
No, fair enough. That accountability definitely has to be set. Can I go across to Chandu Reddy, who's a passenger joining us live from inside the Hyderabad airport? Chandu ji, क्या हाल है वहाँ पे? अभी क्या हुआ आपके साथ?
नमस्ते मैडम, मेरा एक्चुअली फ्लाइट मॉर्निंग 10:40 को था।
हाँ
वो
जी।
10:40 वाला रिशेड्यूल किया 2 बजे को। जब से 3 घंटा लाइन में खड़ी करके उन्होंने रिशेड्यूल किया है, फिर भी अपना जो गेट रहता है ना मैडम, गेट बार बार चेंज करे। अभी तक 3 बार चेंज किया उन लोग।
क्या क्या परेशानी हो रही है सर आपको?
हाँ मैडम,
क्या परेशानी हो रही है सुबह से आपको?
मॉर्निंग से हमारे को 10:40 से अहमदाबाद जाने वाला फ्लाइट कैंसिल करके 2 बजे तक भी हमारे को रिशेड्यूल करा है, फिर भी वो टाइम पे नहीं आया अभी तक।
तो
मेरे साथ बहुत लोग हैं, अहमदाबाद जाने वाला भी है, बहुत परेशान में भी है।
Only Ahmedabad. Keep all the flights they're making reschedule every 10 minutes, 15 minutes. 6 टाइम खत्म करो, चेंज कर दिया।
6 टाइम चेंज हुआ मैडम ये फ्लाइट, 6 टाइम
चेंज करो, नीचे से ऊपर, ऊपर से नीचे।
हॉरिबल सिचुएशन। चंदू जी, आप वहाँ पे एयरलाइन की तरफ से क्या कम्युनिकेशन मिल रहा है आपको? कोई है लोग वहाँ पे एयरलाइन?
कुछ नहीं बोल रहा, मेरा रिस्पॉन्ड ही नहीं दे रहा मैडम। 3 घंटा लाइन में खड़ी करके वो टिकट चेक करके थोड़ा लोगों को रिफंड बोला था, थोड़ा लोगों को रिशेड्यूल किया है।
अच्छा, और क्या बोलना चाहते हैं लोग आपके आसपास?
मैडम,
आपके आसपास जो लोग हैं वो क्या बोलना चाहते हैं?
वो कोई भी नहीं है, काउंटर खाली है। अभी हमारे को 134 फ्लाइट दिया है, दूसरा फ्लाइट इंडिगो का।
रिस्पांस नहीं वो लोग,
किसको कुछ भी
रिस्पांस नहीं वो लोग से अभी। वो रिस्पांस
नहीं है और टिकट बेचते जा रहे हैं।
हाँ, टिकट बढ़ाते जा रहे हैं मैडम, कल से भी रिटर्न करने वाला है इधर।
अवेलेबल नहीं है, फ्लाइट अवेलेबल नहीं है, टिकट बेशर्मी से बनाते जा रहे हैं। कुछ कीजिए आप थोड़ा।
Accountability certainly has to be set. And Devesh, I want to understand from you. Chandu ji हमारे साथ बने रहिए. Devesh, I want to understand from you what is the kind of penalty that can be imposed on IndiGo here. Yes, some firefighting is going on right now. Priority is to stabilize the operation. So whatever exemption is needed is being given. But accountability for IndiGo first. I want to understand from you. What do the rules allow, or can it go beyond the rules as they exist on paper right now?
Ma'am, see, the DGCA and the ministry has extraordinary power. The aviation industry is a very highly regulated industry. I will take back just about a month ago when the US government was in full shutdown, air traffic controllers had not been paid. The US FAA told all airlines, cut down your flights by 10%. The government, instead of relaxing this order, this FDTL order, could have just as easily told IndiGo, listen, you guys are not in compliance, reduce your flights by a minimum 10 or 20% and set your house back in order. Otherwise,
but
we'll withdraw your
Devesh, I don't
license
understand
completely.
why that wasn't done.
Excellent
Or
point.
if they
Ma'am,
had to extend the deadline, let's say a little bit more, why was this not done?
Ma'am, it is exactly what Anand just said. The government is repeatedly setting up these situations where they cave into business interests. It is not limited to airlines. And what is the signal sent? They say we have done it only for IndiGo. Tomorrow, Air India will say, you did it for IndiGo, now do it for me.
Yeah.
Follow that SpiceJet, follow that Akasa. It's just going to, this is only perpetuating a situation where corporations feel they can bully themselves into, any rule that doesn't suit them. Let's bully the government into submission.
Meenakshi
not the way.
Meenakshi ji, do you want to add something given everything that's happening, exemptions, withdrawals? Of course, passenger safety is an issue. What are your thoughts on what the government is trying to do right now?
I really have no clue what are the politics behind it, and why suddenly put a rule when you are not prepared and then suddenly withdraw it. Can't say anything.
So, Sohail, I want to understand from you, there's going to be internal responsibility for the management of the IndiGo that we're talking about. Their share price has dropped. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of internal responsibility too. But from the government's point of view, what do you want to see happening? Monetary penalty?
Let me repeat. I don't give a damn about the share price of IndiGo. Rahul Bhatia and his family will benefit, and I don't give a monkey's toss about that. I'm worried about passengers, the harassment that has been caused, the absolute arrogance with which the airline has behaved, and the lack of transparency in providing information. These are my worry points. My worry point is not whether Rahul Bhatia becomes a billionaire or becomes a millionaire. To hell with him, he's not leaving anything for me in his will. So, the issue is A, fiscal penalty. B, as Devesh said, the Civil Aviation Ministry has the right to refuse a chap from continuing as CEO. Peter Ibers should go back to wherever he came from, Lapland, Norway, wherever it is. But out. You cannot run an airline into this. Number 3, there must be a huge compensation plan that is approved by the government of India. And these jokers should be made to pay. Let me tell you, Shivani, जब आपका पैसा छीन जाता है ना तभी ज्यादा से ज्यादा आपको पेन होती है अदरवाइज इंटरनल इंक्वायरी ये वो नो वन गिव्स अ डैम वी आर इंडिया बॉस डू यू थिंक एन इंटरनल इंक्वायरी दिस इंटरनल इंक्वायरी विल कंटिन्यू